Yo, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Super Wildcard Weekend is over, and honestly, what a banger way to open up the NFL playoffs. We saw some young QBs absolutely rip it. Jordan Love, CJ Stroud. We had a little bit of a resurgence with Baker Mayfield. Eagles suck. Can't believe the downfall of that team. I'm not gonna lie. It is honestly insane, the turnaround from, was it like week 10, I think? Week 10 they were 9-1 or something like that, 8-1 if they had their bye already by then, and then they finished the season 3-6. It's just, I don't know how you just fall like that. I mean, obviously it's partly coaching, partially injury problems, partially players looking like they kind of gave up, because that's what it looked like last night. No one wanted to tackle. So maybe Eagles will get you a sure tackler in this draft. I'm not sure yet. Probably not what you really care about. You probably care about defending the pass, I'd imagine. Or Jason Kelce retiring, which does suck if you're an NFL fan. I love Jason Kelce, even though I'm a Giants fan and I hate the Eagles. I've always respected that man. He's a great center, great story. Everyone said he was undersized. You know the story by now, but that's not the point here. The point here, mock draft Monday on a Tuesday, because Super Wildcard Weekend went into Monday. Next week, I'll do it again, but that time it'll actually be on Monday. We'll see what happens in the divisional round, because we might have Baker Mayfield in the NFC Championship game, and that would be crazy. Obviously, the Lions, that was awesome to see. The environment around that game was incredible. The fans brought it to that game. Same with the Bills. I gotta respect any football fan that went out to that Bills game, because that looked cold as hell. Same with the Chiefs game. Speaking of the Chiefs game, Miami, little bit questionable. I don't think Tua's a for sure thing. We'll get into that later. Let's just get into this one. Pick 1. Caleb Williams has finally declared that he will be entering into the NFL draft, and I think he goes number 1. No matter if this is the Bears, the Commanders move up a spot, the Patriots move up. I don't really know what's going to happen, but I do think Caleb Williams ends up going number 1. Generational talent. The improvisation skills are off the charts. And if you don't think he's a good player, or he's a locker room cancer, or he cries too much, whatever it is, what I know about the kid, he's competitive as hell. He has an arm like any other I've seen coming out of college. It is insane the throws that this man can make. He keeps the play alive. His improvisation skills are amazing. I just said it. Kind of redundant there, but like seriously amazing. He keeps plays alive. He keeps his eyes downfield. He is a damn good quarterback, maybe even an elite quarterback coming into the league. He's going to be really good, and a lot of people are going to hate him because he is so good. Moving on to pick number 2, it's Drake May. Another super, super good quarterback prospect. If Caleb Williams wasn't here, Drake May would be the obvious number 1 quarterback. A little bit of a debate. I do think it's close, but I just think Caleb Williams has just this little edge on Drake May. Drake May, though, very good within the structure of the play. I think he'll be really good when plays break down. I think he showed flashes of that at North Carolina, using his legs to either run or extend plays. And you can't disregard his wheels, man. He's fast, and he's got some power as well. He'll put his shoulder down and run right through you with that 6'5" frame. And that is something that he has on Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams only 6'1", I believe, 6'2" on good days. Drake May is 6'5". So definitely an advantage there. As we move to pick number 3, I went a different route with this one, because if the top 2 quarterbacks go off, I don't know if maybe Jerod Mayo, new head coach of the Patriots, maybe he doesn't really like Jaden Daniels or a Bo Nix here at 3. So why not, maybe in this situation, say they got a quarterback in free agency, or maybe they'll draft one later in the draft, and they want to get him a pretty decent weapon, I'd say, in Marvin Harrison Jr. They do still have to clean up the O-line. I almost went O-line here, But I think Marvin Harrison, you can't pass him up there. Like, you just can't. It's too good of value at 3. And that's insane to say. Taking a wide receiver at 3, that it's like basically elite value. That's just how good he is. He's a wide receiver 1, bona fide, walking into the NFL, and I just can't wait to see him play. Whatever jersey he's in, or whatever team he's on, I'd hate for it to be the Patriots. I'm not going to lie, but he's going to be incredible. Pick number 4 here, Arizona Cardinals, and they hate that Marvin Harrison just went ahead of them. Maybe they trade back. I didn't do any trades in this mock draft, and I just stuck here. DJ Humphries got injured. He's had some injury issues the last couple years, I believe. But Olu Fashanu, I don't think you can pass that up at 4. You have another first-round pick with the Houston pick, and you got a lot of picks to deal with, and you could definitely trade back in this spot and maybe take Malik Neighbors or Aroma Dunze, but we will get to that later. Pick number 5, Chargers. It just seems too good to be true just to take Brock Bowers here for them. I almost went Joe Alt, but Brock Bowers can help you run block, and he can chip coming out into routes. He would be a perfect safety blanket for Justin Herbert. He's also a really good athlete. Definitely the best tight end prospect we've seen in a while. And we were saying Kyle Pitts is a unicorn, and he still is. But I think Brock Bowers is at least 2 times better of a prospect than Kyle Pitts because of the blocking aspect. Maybe, or not maybe. Pitts does have Bowers in the athletic department, the size department. I mean, Pitts was 6'5", ran a 4.4, whatever the hell he did. It was incredible. Brock Bowers is a better tight end prospect than Kyle Pitts. And you can mark my words. Instant impact in that offense with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams maybe being cap casualties. And then you have Josh Palmer, Quentin Johnston there, and Darius Davis. I believe Jalen Guyton's a free agent after this year as well. And he just had an ACL injury 2 years ago, I believe. He came back late last year, if I'm not mistaken. So just a lot of question marks surrounding the weapons of Justin Fields and the coach for Justin Fields. So we'll see where that whole situation goes. But I am going to go Brock Bowers here. Shore up your weapons. Shore up, your run game as well. And maybe go get an offensive lineman in the 2nd or 3rd round. Pick number 6. I don't think I've done this yet in these mock draft scenarios. And the man fell here in this scenario. So we are going to go with Jayden Daniels for the New York Giants. My New York Giants. I would not be mad if this happened. I don't know how pro-ready Jayden Daniels is because, obviously he showed very good and quick development while he was at LSU. You take his season last year to this year, and it is 2 different players. Like, seriously. Obviously, all the intangibles are still there, the arm, the legs, but the improvement to go through his reads against SEC defenses and make the right choices, pull it down and run when you don't have anything, and use your athleticism. He showed a lot of freaking good development, and obviously he won the Heisman. So he should be up here in the top 10, maybe even top 5, maybe top 3. We will see. But I do think Jayden Daniels has very similar traits to a guy we watched this weekend in Jordan Love. Both of their frames are a little bit skinnier, around that 6'3"-ish height. Good athleticism. Obviously, Daniels has the athleticism on Love. Love doesn't show his as much as Daniels does, to be fair. But they both have really good arms, and I think Jayden Daniels in a Brian Daboll offense would actually be really, really fun to watch. And he obviously has an arm, unlike Daniel Jones, to get the ball 50 yards down the field, even 60 yards down the field to receivers in tight windows. He takes the whole shots, which the Giants do not have in a quarterback not named Tyrod Taylor. And it would be nice to have a quarterback that takes some risks, because watching Daniel Jones and Tommy DeVito run the offense was painful. Spain without the S. That's what it was. On to pick number 7, though, after that rant. Y'all know where I'm going with this. It's Joe Alt. I mean, protect Will Levis before he actually turns into a human pretzel, please. Because he showed some really good things on tape this year. And I was actually very surprised, because I was not the highest on Will Levis coming out of Kentucky last year. I thought he would at least need 1 year sitting behind Tannehill. But when he came in, he looked in command. He's obviously a little bit fiery. He needs to chill out a little bit with his, I guess, anger management. But he showed really good things. I think you put an O-line in front of him and then maybe sign or draft some more weapons for him. That offense is going to look pretty good, and Joe Alt will help in that pass blocking department and run blocking. I love Tajay Spears, who should be RB1 next year, I'd assume. I like the direction that the Titans are going, even though they had a bit of a down year and they fired Vrabes. Still very questionable decision to me. But it is what it is. I'm not running an organization, and that's why I'm just a fan of the game. As we move on to pick number 8, and I am actually going to go with my edge 1 in Laiatu Latu. If everything checks out with the neck, there's no reason he shouldn't be edge 1. No reason. He had an absurd amount of pressures and QB hits and sacks, and he showed he could play the run a lot better than in previous years. Still needs to work on that, obviously. But the dude is just a freak athlete. Absolute freak. Obviously, he transferred from UW, went down to UCLA because UW medically retired him. And he got his second chance down at UCLA, and he made the most of it. My God. And I think he's special, man. I think he goes in the top 10, whether it's here at 8, where the Falcons do need, as much as they need a quarterback, whatever, they need edge help, man. They have Grady Jarrett, 37-year-old Calais Campbell, Arnold Ebiketie, who's shown flashes. But outside of that, I guess that Lorenzo Carter's all right. I mean, outside of that, what else do you have? You need more. And Laiatu Latu is more. The kid is special. And his teammate Gabriel Murphy should also be a top 100 player. I don't know if he's declared yet, either of the Murphy brothers, but I think one of them's younger, actually. I think one of them has at least one more year, but the Murphy brothers are good too. But it was also, their production was helped by how good Sir Laiatu Latu was. So Falcons get some edge help, as maybe they bring in Bill Belichick. I don't know. We will find out. They did interview him, but it is what it is. But moving on to pick number 9, Chicago Bears. We took Caleb Williams at 1, and most people think, oh, Malik Nabers right here, or edge. I'm going to do something different. I love Malik Nabers. I love Marvin Harrison. I love Rome Odunze. He might be, for one, the best contested catcher in this draft, and that in the NFL translates, all right? He's a damn good route runner. People don't give him the credit for the athlete that he is. He's a very explosive athlete. Maybe not to the level of Malik Nabers, but I almost think he might be a better prospect than Malik Nabers, as crazy as that sounds. And some of you are going to be thinking, oh no, you're stupid, like I'm stopped watching. Like, no, hear me out. Contested catches, what is the average separation in the NFL compared to college? That's where the contested catches are going to translate. And for Rome Odunze, he showed that. He proved it on countless occasions. He proved it in the playoffs. Obviously, Will Johnson kind of shut him down, but Michael Penix did not look like the Michael Penix we were hoping to have in that championship game. And he can run by you. His double moves are sick. His hesitation to get upfield is so good. Super fluid route runner. He can still work on the routes, but he might be up there with the best of the best in this class as a route runner. And I think he could be wide receiver 2. I don't know about wide receiver 1. I'm not going to go that far. But I think it should be talked about more, because he could be up there going as high as number 5 or number 4, in my opinion. Even 6, 4, 5, 6. Like, everyone down from 4, if Marvin Harrison goes in the top 3, I think could take a chance on Rome Odunze, and I would not be surprised if they did, because I think they would benefit heavily from having him on their squad. Pick number 10, this is going to be Malik Nabers, so only one position back. I think that offense needs more weapons. Having only Garrett Wilson out there obviously showed to not work. Breece Hall was amazing, though, but Allen Lazard seemed to be able to not know how to catch a ball anymore. So he is basically a tight end playing receiver, maybe even an offensive lineman playing receiver at this point. I mean, I still don't understand why they traded away Elijah Moore. I don't know if it was cap or what it was, but I think he would have been very helpful this year on that team. But I think Malik Nabers could definitely replace him and even upgrade from Elijah Moore, and it gets Aaron Rodgers more weapons and a little more protection. They still need to address the offensive line, but getting Malik Nabers who you can get the ball out to quick on screens, slants, in the backfield as a running back, put him in wheel routes or hand him the ball. He's just an explosive athlete, and when he has the ball in his hands, he makes plays happen. So I think it would be a very, very good thing for this Jets offense. Pick number 11, the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to assume that Kirk Cousins comes back to this team because I don't see any other signs of why he wouldn't or why Kevin O'Connell is going to go another way. So I'm going to go with my CB1, Kool-Aid McKinstry. Obviously, this could be Nate Wiggins, and I wouldn't mind if it was, but I still think Kool-Aid McKinstry is cornerback 1 in this class. Explosive athlete, fluid hips, great coverage skills, and I don't care what you say, he was still the best DB on that team down in Alabama. I should say cornerback because Caleb Downs was phenomenal, but I do not think Terrion Arnold is quite as good as people think he is, but he is still very, very good. Michigan kind of showed some of his flaws, I thought, in that game. He still played pretty well, I'm not going to lie. As we move to pick 12, who is going to be the next edge off the board here for Denver? Obviously, this could be a receiver, but I think the top 3 already went, and then it's kind of a little bit of a drop-off. And this is going to be Dallas Turner for me out of Alabama, and the Broncos just need edge help. They need defensive help in that front 7. They really have Zach Allen, and I'm forgetting the name on the D-line. I don't know. Zach Allen was the main guy, though, after they got rid of all the others. And then you have Singleton, and I'm blanking on a lot of names right now. But you got some decent linebackers behind the ball. You just need to shore up that front line. Depth in the trenches has shown to be a very, very needed thing if you want to go deep into the playoffs. Look at the teams left. Some of them obviously not as deep as others, but the top 2 teams that you think of, the Ravens, good O-line and D-line. 49ers, good O-line and D-line. Both actually great O-lines and D-lines. As long as Trent Williams is on the field for the Niners, that is. Denver gets some much-needed pass rush help, and it'll help their corners because outside of Pat Surtain, most of their corners kind of suffered this year. So Dallas Turner definitely helps getting pressure on the QB. And pick number 13, the Las Vegas Raiders, who I hope they re-sign Antonio Pierce as head coach, because if they do not, I believe Devontae Adams and Max Crosby are both going to want out, which would be bad for the Raiders. But I think they do keep him in the end, and that team's going to change a lot. Starting with this pick here, Nate Wiggins gets some more coverage help. I don't think that Antonio Pierce is going to immediately go out and get a quarterback, especially not at pick 13, unless they were to trade up. So he's going to do what he knows, get more talented defenders, and he'll develop them very nicely. Nate Wiggins, maybe the best cover corner in the class. I think it's still Kool-Aid McKinstry. To me, Nate Wiggins is a very close second, 1A, 1B. Super, super clean corner, fluid hips, good athlete. He's going to put on a show as well at the combine, and definitely bump his stock up even more. But he goes here at 13 to the Raiders, which is a pretty good spot. A defense that played a lot better than I thought they would this year. Pick number 14, New Orleans Saints. And I actually went J.C. Latham here. I just think, Ryan Ramczyk getting older. I don't think they really have a ton of O-line depth regardless outside of their starting five. Interior's pretty solid for the most part with McCoy and Ruiz and another guy. I'm forgetting the name. I'm just blanking on every name right now. But you can have Latham develop, have Ramczyk kind of help him out, lead him, and then when Ramczyk finally either retires or they just have to cut him for cap reasons, J.C. Latham could take over. I thought he played pretty decent actually against Michigan, who is a very tough D-line. He's moved up quite a bit for me in the draft, this whole process throughout the season. I kind of had him later. Like, he started at the top in the season, start of season, fell a little bit with play, and then brought it back up to a high level. So J.C. Latham, also very athletic, here at 14. 15 is the Indianapolis Colts, and they need some corner help, secondary help. That could be Cooper DeJean, who I'm actually going to go with. Just super versatile. I mean, explosive, white, a white corner going in the top 15. Even the first round is pretty ridiculous. That sounds so bad. Oh my God. But it's true. Wherever he goes, it's just going to be a meme fest. First white corner taken in the first round, blah, blah, blah. He is a really good corner. Obviously super explosive. He plays punt return. He can do a lot of things for you. And some people even think he might be able to play safety. I wouldn't doubt it, to be honest. I think it's good value here at 15 for the Colts. It's something that they need while also just getting super good value at this pick. Pick number 16, I am going to keep Seattle in Seattle. It's not who you think it is.
Oh, yo, where is he, brother?
Pro Football Network apparently has him at 53. It is not Michael Penix Jr. It is Bralen Trice, who was incredible against Texas. He has put multiple games on tape where he has double-digit pressures in one game. He is a great athlete. I think he might actually, with his combine and all the bowl process and everything, he might move up closer to like the top 10. I would not be surprised because he was incredible. I don't know if he moves up above Turner or Latu, but maybe above Verse. Obviously, I have that here. I still really like Verse. Bralen Trice, man, looks to be like a pretty damn good prospect and a good player in the future. And the Seahawks get him here at 16, keeping him in Seattle. As we go here to pick 17, and here's where Jared Verse comes off. I don't think they're going to sign Josh Allen. I mean, if I was him, they have treated you basically like you're not a top-end pass rusher the past 4 years, and then you put up 17.5 sacks, and then they're like, oh, maybe we should re-sign this guy. And I can't believe they didn't do that last year. Beats me. Contract year, he showed everyone why he is a top-end pass rusher in this league. He's super good at forcing turnover-worthy plays, along with the forced fumbles themselves. He gets pressure on the quarterback. I really hope the Giants get Josh Allen. But that's discussion for another day. This discussion's on Jared Verse, who could definitely not replace the production, but with time and development, he probably could. Really good overall edge rusher here. I think he stops the run well. He showed he developed that in the offseason and was a lot better at it this year down at Florida State. And he also obviously gets pressure on the quarterback. And when he brings those or draws those double teams, I should say, it helps out the guys across from him and on the interior. And that's what he's, going to call for, because he's super, super powerful with his hands. Probably the best power rusher in this draft. A lot of these other guys are speed rushers. Jared Verse, he's explosive as well off the line, and then he gives you that power. It's pretty remarkable. Pick number 18, Cincinnati Bengals. To me, this is too easy. I know y'all want a receiver, but Talise Fuaga is just sitting here at 18. He falls. He's been moved up boards a ton, and maybe he goes higher than this. But it's such good value for a guy who can help you in the run game, take the pressure off of Burrow, while also you can develop him as a pass blocker. He wasn't the best at it, obviously, but he still wasn't horrible, because if he was horrible at it, he wouldn't be going at 18 or even higher in the draft. Good athlete for his size as well. He moves incredibly well. And I think this is a super, super good pick for the Bengals. Worry about the receiver later on. This receiving class is so, so deep. Guys that should be going in the first round in other drafts are going to be going in the second and third because of it. As we get along to pick number 19, and this is where Kool-Aid's teammate Terrion Arnold is going to go. The Rams need help everywhere, and I think this is kind of the best bang for your buck here. I know value-wise, probably Johnny Newton for the Rams, or maybe an Amarius Mims for other people. They need DB help. They got torched against the Lions. When they don't get pressure, it's a problem. And they need some better cover guys, and Terrion Arnold is definitely a cover guy. He can go inside, outside. Maybe you want to play him at safety. I highly doubt it because of his versatility closer to the line. He's going to be a really good corner in the NFL for a long, long time. And the Rams get him here at 19. Pittsburgh Steelers here at 20. And kind of a tough spot. I thought about this one for a while. Steelers just really like their value, right? And I think Jerzon Newton is fantastic value here at 20. A guy that could go close to the top 10, if not in the top 10. And Cam Hayward's getting older. You drafted Keanu Benton last year out of Wisconsin. It's not like Larry Ogunjobi is going to stop you from taking the top defensive lineman in this draft. Interior, I should say. He brings so much pressure from the interior up the gut. He can stop the run. And I think putting him next to Keanu Benton for the future in the next 4 to 5 years is scary for other teams in the NFC North, or AFC North, sorry. And a lot of teams in the Ravens, or a couple teams, I should say, in the Ravens and the Browns, who love to run the ball, whether that's up the middle or side to side. You're going to need a run stopper. Jerzon Newton can be that. Also getting pressure up the middle, which is very important when you go up against guys like Baker Mayfield, or not Baker Mayfield, geez, what in the hell? Lamar Jackson, who is really good at maneuvering the pocket and stepping up and through the middle. The interior pressure can help a lot for your secondary and just getting pressure on the quarterback. So Jerzon Newton here at 20. Pick number 21, and this, if you follow me on Twitter, is why I said people are probably not going to like me very much once this gets put out. And here we go. I don't know how y'all are going to feel about this. Bo Nix here at 21 to Oregon. If you're a Dolphins fan, you probably want to shoot me, and that's valid. But hear me out. How confident are you in Tua Tagovailoa right now? After that playoff game, after the last 5 weeks, how confident are you? Let's be real here. The dude's arm is a little bit of a noodle. I know the jokes are a little bit extreme, and they're definitely over the top. The memes surrounding Tua's arm. It's better than what they say. It isn't great. Yes, he can get guys the ball, and yes, he can make decisions quickly. But when those decisions and your options are not there, what happens? He takes the sack. He's not athletic enough or have the awareness to get out of the pocket and extend plays. Bo Nix can do that. And I almost went J.J. McCarthy for the same reason, but I think Bo Nix is better at extending plays, and in an offense with A-Chain and Mostert and Waddle and Tyreek Hill. What did Tyreek Hill thrive on in Kansas City? Mahomes extended the plays, and Tyreek Hill found an opening, and it was a big-time play, whether it was a chunk play or a touchdown. In this offense, in this Mike McDaniel's offense, obviously everything's upon timing. He comes from the Shanahan scheme, which is very, very similar. Brock Purdy, when he got in the Shanahan scheme, upgraded that offense because he could extend the play, unlike Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy G and Tua, I'm not going to say they're similar players, but they kind of just take a sack or don't know what to do and just throw the ball away when their option, either one or two, is not there most of the time. They have shown that they can do it, but in flashes. Bo Nix showed that this year he can extend plays, he can find the open guy, he can take off with his legs, which is huge. He does not have the injury concerns that Tua brings or a Penix brings. Yes, he's a fifth-year senior. Yes, he's 23 coming into the NFL, almost 24. I think he would actually be really, really good in this offense. It gives you another dynamic playmaker with his legs at the goal line as well. You can run read options. You can run quarterback power. I think it makes the offense better, and I think he actually upgrades this team with this pick. I know you need O-line, but Bo Nix would actually be an upgrade here, and you get him on a cheaper contract for the next 5 years. You can upgrade the defenses in that time, or the defense, I should say, and you can upgrade the O-line. If you keep your quarterback, I shouldn't say cheap because it's still expensive in the first round, but at 21, it's not a number one pick. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know. I think there's some question marks surrounding that organization right now with Tua, and this is why I went here. Obviously, they could stick with Tua, extend him, whatever, but I actually do think Bo Nix would be really good in that offense. I know that was very, well, it was a long rant for a short answer that I think Bo Nix could be better in the offense than Tua. Plain and simple. As we move on to my favorite team, oh, baby. Pick number 22, the Philadelphia Eagles. And boy, oh boy, was that beautiful to watch. I mean, my goodness, you guys got your ass kicked. But I'm going to help you out here and get you some DB help on the back end. Tyler Nubin, here at 22. This might be a little high for some people. I think Nubin's incredible. This could obviously just be a corner if you like a Kamari Lassiter or Kalen King, Quinion Mitchell, Ennis Rakestraw. If you like any of those guys, sure, why not? Or you could trade back and take one of them. Accumulating draft picks would not be a bad thing for the Eagles in this draft. But I do think Tyler Nubin upgrades this defense. The only man you really have on contract to play safety next year is Sidney Brown. That's kind of a problem. You guys also can't tackle. Tyler Nubin can tackle. There you go. That solves two problems. He's a great cover safety, and he can also tackle. Solves two problems that we saw last night against the Bucs. So there you go. Pick number 23, the Houston Texans. We're going to stick with Brian Thomas. Super, super good deep threat. Something that they don't really have. Mechie's more of a possession receiver. Same with Nico. Although Nico has a little more after the catch ability than Mechie. Obviously, Tank Dell is your slot guy. He can take the top off the defense. Brian Thomas is 6'3", 6'4", and can take the top off of defense. That's pretty unheard of. He can get some contested balls for you, but that's speed, man. CJ Stroud down there, that is scary. Pick number 24, my other favorite team. Oh my gosh, we're getting to them all. Dallas Cowboys. Man, how did that feel? Oh my. We're going to get you guys some secondary help. I'm really high on Quinion Mitchell. Obviously, this could be Kamari Lassiter. If you really like him, I think he's a good corner. But I think Quinion Mitchell kind of fits the Dallas scheme right now a little bit more. A little more physical, a bigger corner. I think Gilmore's kind of out at this point, man. He just didn't look like he had it. Wicks and all them young boys were running his fade. Romeo Doubs, I mean, he sent him to another planet. Romeo Doubs, that route, man. You guys have all seen it. I'll put in a clip. Maybe I will. I don't know. Oh my God, he torched the poor man. That's besides the point. You get some secondary help here. You could also take an offensive lineman like a Marius Mims or a Troy Fatanu, and maybe develop him a little bit more for when guys like Zach Martin or Tyron Smith leave. That is definitely another route you could go. I just think secondary help is much needed when you obviously can't cover with guys like Gilmore and Deron Bland. Anyways, I'm not going into the DaRon Bland thing. All I'm going to say is he's not a cover corner. All right. Pick number 25, Green Bay Packers, who absolutely throttled the Dallas Cowboys, are going to get some more O-line help here for old Jordan Love, and it's going to be Troy Fautanu. He can play guard. I think he could play tackle. Super athletic, can help the run game even more. I think the Packers need that interior pass protection and run blocking, and Fautanu brings that. And my God, does he ever. I think he could go higher than this, but I also think he could go a little lower than this in the second round. So this is kind of in that middle area. We don't really know too much because we don't know if the NFL views him as a guard or a tackle. I view him more as a guard at this point, I think, even though I do think he could be a tackle for you if you needed it. The Packers already have 2 tackles out there in Walker and Tom, so getting that interior help definitely needed. And then you can use your 2 second-round picks at, secondary and edge, which both are much deeper than the offensive line class, in my opinion. Pick number 26, the Tampa Bay Bakers, who put on a show last night. I have them going Jordan Morgan here, wherever he is on their list here at 43. I think you need to get some worse. It still showed last night that their offensive line isn't great. And Jordan Morgan, to me, is a pretty damn good tackle. Definitely deserving of a first-round pick. He battled with Trice this year, and that kind of went back and forth. I think Trice probably ended up winning that one. But Jordan Morgan's a damn good tackle who some people project as a guard maybe. I still have him as a tackle. I think you could fit him in at right tackle across from Wirfs, and that'd be a pretty good tackle duo for the future. Number 27 here for the Cardinals. This pick they did not think would be this far down the line, but it is what it is. That's how the NFL goes. I'm going to give them some more secondary help because they definitely need it, and it's going to be Kamari Lassiter out of Georgia. Another guy that I think just kind of fits this scheme. We saw what Gannon did with guys like Bradbury and Darius Slay, who are kind of the similar build to Kamari Lassiter, maybe a little bit bigger than he is, but a lot better athleticism than the both of them. And he's a damn good cover corner, man. He really is. I could definitely see him going in the second round, like early second, but I do think he is worthy of a first-round pick, and he goes here at 27 to Arizona. Number 28, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to be A.D. Mitchell, man. They need an X receiver. He can be that. He is 6'4", uber athletic, great hands, great route running. I think he'd go higher than this. I wouldn't be surprised if he did, but I think because of injuries, he probably will go a little bit lower than he should. And he drops to 28, and why wouldn't you want to be in Kansas City if you're him with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Pacheco, Rashee Rice? Him and Rice would actually be a really good wide receiver duo. And that's where I'm going to go here at 28. 29 for the Buffalo Bills is going to be Amarius Mims. Finally, he goes here at 29. I mean, Deion Dawkins and Spencer Brown, I believe, are both at the end of their deals this year. So one of those guys you're probably not going to be able to bring back because of the Josh Allen contract, if not both. Amarius Mims can play both sides of the line, left or right tackle wherever you need him. Probably want to start him at right tackle and just develop him more. But he is a mammoth, man. He is 6'6", 6'7", super athletic for his size, moves well, and get Josh Allen some protection, which is needed when you have a star quarterback like Josh Allen. Pick number 30 for America's team this last week, the Detroit Lions, and I think they need a little more interior help, and I am going to go with one of the Texas guys in Byron Murphy II. I almost went to Vondre Sweat, but I think they have a similar guy in Aleem McNeil to Sweat. Murphy is a little more athletic and can play on the or I should say at defensive end, as well as inside, at like the nose. But he brings a lot of pass rushing, pass rushing skills to the interior of that D line that does not have a lot of pass rush ability. I mean, Ali McNeil is all right, but like Kaminsky, definitely not better than Byron Murphy, that's for sure. Onwuzurike, I don't think is better than Byron Murphy. I think he comes in and instantly better at pass rushing from the interior than all the guys that they have right now. And then that takes the pressure off of Aiden Hutchinson as well. And then you can get a guy across from him as like a DPR or something to get pass rush. What am I trying to say here? Pressure from the other side of Hutchinson. My God. I apologize. Can't speak English today. But you get what I'm saying. Byron Murphy here at 30 for the Lions. 31 for the Niners, and kind of all the guys that they might want, in my opinion, for offensive line have kind of gone. So I'm going to do what they probably also need. I thought about Kalen King here, but I am going to end up going Ennis Rakestraw. I could see either of these guys, though, just because King can play both man and zone pretty well. Same with Rakestraw, obviously. I just think Rakestraw might have a little higher upside, actually, after looking into him more. And a little bit bigger of a corner, which is kind of what the Niners like. Obviously, Kalen King isn't small, but yeah. They need more coverage ability outside of Charvarius Ward. And obviously, when Ufunga comes back, the back end is fine. So sure up the outsides and get Ennis Rakestraw here, or maybe Kalen King if you want. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I think they should go corner, and there's some talent to do so here at 31. Final pick, it's not showing, but it is the Baltimore Ravens. I don't know if you bring back everyone at D-line, so I am going to go to Vondre Sweat with that final pick, just really based off of production. I think he's a first-round pick, and he showed it. He showed it in the college football playoff, his run-stopping ability. I don't know if they're going to be able to bring back Madubuike, who's had a fantastic season, got absolutely snubbed from All-Pro. Fill in that role. Maybe not exactly. Madubuike is a little smaller frame, better athlete than Sweat. Sweat could definitely come in there and make a damn presence pretty quickly. He can get pressure on the quarterback from the interior in that nose position, which is probably where he plays best. And obviously he can stop the run. I mean, at 360 pounds, you'd hope so. Or whatever he is. But very good athlete for his size. Very, very good. But yeah, man, that's it for this one. Some surprises here and there. I just like to get, different perspectives sometimes. This one down here, obviously, Bo Nix, 21 to the Dolphins. Don't know how popular that one's going to be. I guess we're going to find out. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this one. More mock draft Mondays, even though this is going to be out on Tuesday, on the frickin' way with each round of the playoffs until we hit that Super Bowl. And then we will start looking into free agency, all that kind of, jazz and everything. And then the mock drafts will be a little more spaced out. We're also going to I'm starting to do some positional rankings for you. Let me know if you want that down in the comments. I'm at least going to do quarterbacks and see how that goes, if you guys like it or not. But yeah, more to come on this channel, man. More to come. I also started making players to watch, like kind of unknown players or underrated players at the Senior Bowl. That should be fun times. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think about your team and who they got. I love hearing back from you guys. I love feedback. Please let me know. But that is it for this one. Hope your team won, unless it was Dallas or the Eagles, this last weekend, if your team was in the playoffs. And I will see y'all in the next one. Take it easy and peace.